Oh crap, what happened? Okay, anyway, hi guys, welcome back to the Unicorn Squad. And hold on, let me get my profile up here. Okay, anyway, sorry, this is my first time back on the app that I know how to record on. Sad. Okay, hold on. Wait. Oh, well, okay, there we go. Okay, so anyway, hi guys, welcome back. So I'm going to turn my phone about like I need to hook it on my thingy bobber. Oh crap! It won't stay. Oh wait. Okay, done. I can't stay. Okay, whoa. Sorry, my stick is like very wobbly. Okay, hi guys. Welcome back to the Unicorn Squad, and I'm gonna be doing a video. It's called a scary animation video. Yeah, I can't wait. Okay, so wait a second. On the YouTube app, but let me quote y'all in the corner. Hi. Scary animations. I have not did a video about this. Hold on. Okay. Sorry.
So this happened all the way back in the late 1990s when I was a college sophomore.
Okay.
Me and the girl I was dating at the time.
Okay, hold on.
For about 8 months.
Okay, hold on.
Before Christmas, my mom's family traditionally held quite a large gap.
Here we go. Oh.
And since they've gotten word that I was bringing my girlfriend, the hype to meet her was huge. I won't lie. I was kind of nervous that they'd embarrass me in front of her, but that anxiety was totally misplaced. She got along really well with all of them, and despite some playful humiliation when a cousin of mine told her the story of how I literally peed my pants at the Haunted Mansion ride when I was a kid,
everybody does that, right?
they were a credit to me. And when it came to driving her back home, she seemed to be more into me than ever. We'd agreed to drive back down to Eugene at like 7 p.m., so I wouldn't be too tired driving back.
Okay, that's true.
But since we had such a good time, we stayed way later than we had planned to, and didn't get on the road until about 10:30 p.m. that evening. In the hopes of making the journey a little faster, I ended up taking the OR211 instead of just sticking to the I-5S for the whole drive. Annoyingly, this didn't quite actually make the journey any faster, but point being, the OR211 was pretty much surrounded by farms or these huge swaths of dense pine forest. So as you can imagine, big stretches of it aren't lit very well at all, and for some parts of the drive, we were moving through complete darkness, saved only by our car's headlights. But honestly, I wasn't all worried about it.
You know, when people put like lights up, they don't remember to put lights all across the street, which is really weird.
So we're just cruising along, in high spirits, talking about how goofy some of my family were, but generally my girlfriend was singing their praises and telling how she couldn't wait to meet them again. It's right around then that we hit a section of the highway that descends down this big, heading up to the bridge crossing over Deep Creek. There, the highway is sandwiched by some of the densest
So I've
forests
never heard of a road called
Deep
Creek. Is probably not in.
There's absolutely nothing lighting up the highway. It's the only thing we can see from the front seats of the cars, like maybe 20 or 30 feet that our headlights are illuminating, and pretty much nothing else.
Like in The Walking Dead, how like they got stuck in a highway. I hate highways.
Prepared for what was about to happen.
It's kind of scary.
Right as the highway was starting to level off, something darts across the front of us so fast and so suddenly that I barely missed smashing into it.
Dang,
I brake so hard that I almost gave the pair of us whiplash. Then, when we're stopped, both me and my girlfriend are in a complete frenzy of, "Oh God, did you see that? What was that?"
Yeah, yikes. Y'all like what happened? Like, did we almost hit it?
Of coyotes too. But the thing that ran out in front of us was way too big to be a coyote, and something about the way it moved gave me this gut feeling that it wasn't a deer either. The shape was just way too slender.
It wasn't a deer. Oh no,
If
it wasn't a deer. What could it be?
On 2 legs, not 4. Now, next thing, I know how completely dumb this sounds in retrospect, but my curiosity just got the better of me, and I decided.
Oh yes, this always happens.
So again, this was also incredibly dumb. I turned the car like 90 degrees in the highway so I could point our headlights into the woods. Yes, this could have caused a horrible accident if another car had come along at the same time I was doing this, but I don't think I was thinking straight at the time.
Probably
You see,
weren't.
as a kid growing up in the Pacific Northwest, I've heard a lot of stories about Bigfoot.
Ooh, okay. But that is like very creepy. And I'll pause you back when the ad is over. It's not over. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Had to get me a sweatshirt on, and I need to fix this issue. Right. That's perfect. Perfecto.
They didn't capture my imagination. No, I'm not saying that I thought I'd caught a glimpse of Gigantopithecus or anything. I know the stories are mostly exactly that, just stories, but a part of me just wanted to be sure. So like I said, I turned the car 90 degrees, turned on the high beams, and stepped out of the driver's side and onto the highway.
I'm sorry, but this dude is below stupid.
See a thing.
I'm so sorry. Like, you don't investigate, dude. Like, when you investigate, it makes it worse.
But as I'm looking, I get this feeling in the pit of my stomach. I start to feel as if though I'd made a huge error of judgment. It was one of the most intensely terrifying feelings I'd ever felt in my entire life.
This is a light that I got from Walmart. It's like, it comes with a stick too.
I know it's a huge cliche, and the whole I felt like I was being watched thing is such a tired old trope, but I don't really know any other way to phrase it. My heart was pounding. The hairs on the back of my neck are standing on end.
I bet.
And my gut just turned to ice.
Yeah.
So without turning my back to the woods,
when your gut turns ice, oh, you know you messed up.
I started edging back towards the car. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, I practically jump out of my skin when I hear the car's horn letting off one long, excruciatingly loud, extended blast. I mean, it scared me so bad that I almost straight up peed my pants, Haunted Mansion style. My first thought was that my girlfriend had ended up leaning on the horn as she climbed over into the driver's seat for some reason because she'd done that once or twice before. But as I turn back around, I can see she's still on the passenger side, but that she's actually leaning over to push the horn in what was evidently a frenzied attempt to get my attention. I run back to the car and ask her if she's okay, but she doesn't say a single word to me. She just points off to a spot about 50 feet away from where we parked.
Oh, heck no.
I spin my head around to see what she's pointing at, and that's when I see it. What was, without a shadow of a doubt, the thing that had run in front of our car just a few minutes prior. Lit up by the residual light of our high beams, what I saw was really obviously a man. But he was covered in animal furs. What looked like a mishmash of deer skins, bear skins, and elk skins, and on his head, secured in a way I'm not even sure of, were these antlers. At the time, because of how closely it was to the holidays, I remember the words reindeer man just flashed into my mind. Maybe in the naive hope that the dude was dressed that way out of some misdirected
Like, when there's something flash, like, you know that things are gonna happen.
I'm tired. Let's go.
Dad, just one more thing.
Ooh, Hot Wheels. Where are you going? Festive spirit. But he certainly didn't seem in any kind of festive spirit. Not in the least bit. Like I couldn't see his eyes because of the weird kind of head covering he had on, but I could see his mouth. And at first he kind of looked like he was giving us a smile. Only as I looked, I could see it wasn't a smile at all. This guy was just baring his teeth to us, like the way chimps do as some kind of warning. After that, he turned and walked off into the forest, never to be seen again.
That dude.
Me and my girlfriend just got out of there.
I can't believe you walked it out, like, out of the car just to see what that was.
It took us both a while to calm our nerves, but my girlfriend was particularly shaken up, and that's because she'd seen something that I hadn't. And as we drove on, she explained exactly what that was. While I'd been staring off into the woods, looking for Sasquatch or whatever, she'd noticed him out of her peripheral vision, but was basically frozen in fear for a moment or two as she watched him walking slowly towards me. Or rather, walking isn't the right word. From how she
By
described
the way,
it,
this necklace
this guy
glows in
was
the
stalking,
dark, and it's
the way a
pretty
hunter
as
might stalk a deer. The way she puts it, she had to summon up pretty much all of her courage to be able to lean over and honk the horn the way she did.
the way you would know, dude. You got out of the car.
He backed off a little.
You're lucky
before
you
I
didn't
saw
die
him,
then
like
and
I
there.
said, he kind of just froze in place before disappearing.
Some girls
I
don't
did a fair
care, but
amount
that
of
girl,
online
oh
research
my
when I got
gosh,
home
she saved your
to try
life.
and find out if anyone else had any run-ins with this guy, but there was absolutely nothing online about him. There are plenty of crazy
So,
survivalist
it's your
types
first
up
time
here in the
meeting
Pacific
him.
Northwest, and I'm guessing he was one of those. But they tend to be pretty open about their existence. Sometimes even advertise themselves as militiamen or whatever, whereas the reindeer man seemed like he was living completely off the grid.
Okay.
I don't live in Oregon anymore. Me and my girlfriend during the encounter broke up at the end of college, but when we were still together and I happened to be driving down towards Eugene, I always avoided the stretch of highway that I saw the reindeer man on. I've told
Yeah, I
this story
understand that
a
one.
lot over the years.
Because you
and
ran
some
over,
people
you
honestly
about
just think
ran
I'm
over
making it
him,
up as like
dude.
a campfire tale or
Like,
something.
I know, like, you
But
don't
it's
know
not a
him,
tale.
but, like, still.
It's not made up. And it's definitely not just intended to be some dumb spoopy story. It's most definitely a warning to anyone traveling on that road at night, because if my girlfriend wasn't with me when he ran out in front of the car, if she wasn't there to
You
spot
would
him
have
before he
been
crept up on
dead,
me,
dude.
only to scare him off with the blast of the horn, I honestly might not be here to warn you guys. So please, this holiday season, drive careful, drive slow, and do not stop
One
for any
more,
reason
and then I'm, like, gonna
on
end the
dark,
video.
deserted stretches of forest, highway.
Maybe. I don't know. I hate that creepy music. That's actually really cool.
During college Christmas break of 2016, I had traveled all the way back to Pennsylvania from California to spend the holidays with my parents.
Yeah, true.
It was
You
kind
gotta
of
have your
weird
parents
going from
everywhere, dude.
being a mostly independent college kid in a place that hardly ever gets cold, to going back to living in my childhood bedroom in a state that becomes a legit winter wonderland around December and January. But I love my mom and dad, and
I think it's January.
There was no way I was going to spend the holidays alone in Cali. So anyway, my old room is on the second floor of the house, directly above the sliding door that heads out onto the decking in our backyard. It's a really heavy door, so anytime someone opens or closes it, it rumbles right up into my bedroom. This was in a house that was built back in the 50s too, so as you can imagine, the whole place has a lot of creaks and groans to it, but
Yeah,
it is
since
otherwise
it's
pretty
an old
sturdy.
house, like,
I should
it
also add at
creaks
this
when you
point
walk
that
on the
part
floor.
of the town that my
Really
parents
creepy,
live
too.
at is pretty safe, with a relatively low crime rate, especially to that of nearby Philly. The most intrusive calls they ever got tended to be from magazine salespeople and the odd Jehovah's Witnesses, and after my dad insisted on debating scripture with them, they stopped calling altogether.
Okay.
Point being, they never had anything remotely close to any kind of break-in or home invasion for the entire time they were living in that property. Next thing is a brief confession from myself here. I picked up a pretty horrible smoking habit during my freshman year in
Sorry
college.
there's a lot of ads in
So
the
when
video,
my parents
but,
went
like,
to bed, I tended to stay up
I
late
can't
playing
really
Civ on
annoy
my
them
laptop,
at all.
sitting next to my open bedroom window while I smoked and drank tumblers of scotch that I'd paid for from my dad's.
Yeah, girl!
After
Sorry.
midnight, I'd have my window open.
But, like,
from
I mean,
anything
sometimes,
from
like,
30
when you,
minutes
like,
to 2
have the
hours.
party day,
I mean, it would
you
purely
want
depend
to
on how cold
sometimes
it was
drink or
outside
smoke
how
at
tired
least.
I was.
Even though I'm,
But I
like, it's, like,
generally
10
let the
years
room
old.
air out
Sorry
before
about
spraying
that.
some air freshener so that the tobacco smell didn't cling to anything too bad. I also had to use headphones to watch TV and listen to music so it wouldn't wake my mom and dad up.
Yeah.
But I tend to only ever use one earphone so I could keep an ear out for anyone coming down the hallway, since they really wouldn't be happy if they found out I was smoking in the house.
Oh, yeah,
So one night,
girlfriend,
I was in my usual
you're
routine
lucky.
of conquering the known world in an online multiplayer game of Civ when our house alarm suddenly starts blaring. I don't think I'd heard that thing since I was about 6 or 7 years old, and I had completely forgotten about how loud it was. So hearing it had me practically filling my underwear from being frightened out of my skin. Point being,
Yeah, because like when
everyone in the
you're like
house
6
is
years
now
old,
wide
you think
awake
everything's
and ready to head off whatever is
the
about to go down.
differency, but like
Now, my
when you
priorities
grow
might
up and
sound
like you
way,
go
way
back to
off
the
here,
same house that you
but initially my
heard
big
the
worry
alarm,
wasn't so much that
you
something
start
bad
knowing
might
it's
be happening,
loud.
like a home invasion or something like that.
I do like the
It
new
was more
Pierce
like
though,
me
it's really
being
cool.
terrified that my parents were about to realize I'd been smoking and stealing booze from them. I was 20 years old at the time, technically underage, and my parents were old-fashioned types, real sticklers for the rules. If they found out what I'd been doing, there'd be drama, and lots of it. But somehow, when my dad stuck his head around my door, all bleary-eyed to make sure he knew where I was, he didn't seem to smell anything. I don't know whether this was because he was too tired and freaked out about the alarms to notice, or that he noticed and actually
Maybe
just
because
didn't
he's
care.
tired.
Either
He
way,
legit just
he told me to
woke
go into their bedroom and stay with my mom until he could give us the all clear. So my dad goes downstairs, I'm assuming with pistol in hand, and gets to work clearing the house, as well as checking the front and backyards to make sure that there's no one hiding in the darker areas out there. He comes back up, tells me and my mom he couldn't find anything and it was probably just a false alarm, and then we all head back to bed. Or rather, back to bed. I just went back to being a diplomatic genius on Civ 6. About an hour goes by and I
As you
start
can
getting
see on
pretty
the
tired,
bottle,
so
it
I
says
get up to close my
XXX.
bedroom window before heading to bed when the alarm goes off again. Once again, my dad goes downstairs, does a sweep of the grounds floor and the yards, then comes back to tell me not to worry and that he figured it was just the wind or something. I mean,
Wind
it
don't
had been a
trigger
pretty windy
alarm,
night,
dude.
which honestly
So
suited
it's
me
gotta
because
be
it meant the
somebody
breeze aired my room out.
trespassing.
Like I said,
Because
it was
I don't
an
think
old
alarm
house,
would
so
go off
it wasn't out of the question that the wind
it
could
wasn't.
have rattled the
It's
doors or
specifically
windows and set
somebody
the
going
alarm off.
to trigger.
The point being that both me and my dad were chill about the alarm going off. Neither of us thought there was anything to worry about. So the next morning at breakfast, my dad is going through the alarms.
Love or money? Money. Piercings or... Get fee-free overdraft up to $100 with Stop Me. Install the Chime app today and get started.
Alright.